his conviction has been proved right again. So I'm very happy for him personally. And on set, he's totally director. I don't get any benefit. I don't even get a proper van. I
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
there are like 20 people in my van while I have to change or whatever, or while I have to do makeup or hair.
Okay.
Because me and him share the van, and he holds all
तो
his
ये
meetings,
तो
all
घर
his
की
crew
मुर्गी
meetings.
दाल बराबर, you know.
हाँ हाँ, बस बस लोग सोचते हैं कि एडवांटेज होता है, कुछ
Advantage
एडवांटेज नहीं
होता है
होता
कि
है।
डायरेक्टर का बेटा है, लेकिन actually he's like, okay, you know, if I can save some money on that side, then maybe like, you know, also maybe
Yeah,
for you it's new, like you're, I mean, okay, you're not a newcomer, like you had already done a film and you know people had seen you, but I guess maybe you
yeah,
kind of adjust. But like we've seen some big stars, they have some demands sometimes, or they really want to have a van, you know. I guess for the women it's more, I mean, but even men, like they need to get their makeup done and everything. So
yeah. Yeah. So I have always like while they're doing my beard or some blood work
yeah,
or something, I have always some uncle or some auntie looking at me. What
जब
are they
कोई ना
doing?
कोई देखता रहता था कि इनका मेकअप
हाँ
कैसे
हाँ
चल रहा है.
हाँ. It's on set we are like a family, right? So
Yeah,
it's very much like an Indian household over there.
yeah,
Some random uncle, some random aunties there always.
always there on set. And
Yeah.
what sort of future projects do you have lined up? Can we expect to see more of you, maybe on OTT or in films?
Definitely, I have a couple of good projects in hand, and I'm in talks with a lot more. Um, right now, we'll be announcing one of them in a little bit, but before that, I'm taking my time to really assess stories because Gadar has definitely given me a platform where I can take my time a little more and figure out which is the best story that I can do for my audience.
Yeah.
And that is the most crucial bit. Everything else comes. Money is not the criteria. Fame is not the criteria. The criteria is a good story. That gives you everything.
Huh, definitely. I mean, I think now you have to be careful with your choices as well, because since Gadar 2
Yeah.
has done so well, maybe people want to see you in a different kind of role. Because here
Hmm.
you had a bit of romance, you were also fighting on screen, like, you know, some of the scenes were actually really, really tough. Did you get a
Hmm.
body double for some of them, or like were you actually like, you know, doing most of the stunts yourself?
Most of the film actually has been done like for I'll say even for Sunny sir, we've used body double very little.
Yeah. Okay.
We've focused more on practical stunts, more of how we used to shoot films before VFX,
Yeah.
and that creates a different body language itself in the actor because when an actor is acting in a green screen room, right, you don't have the
Yeah.
environment to play off of.
Definitely.
When you're actually in that heat, when we were actually standing on those tanks and the tanks were running, we couldn't see anything. We had
Yeah.
two tanks running side by side. It was like we will really fall from this thing.
It
And
must have been tough to shoot those scenes, like the one with the tank and the one where you're on
yeah,
the train as well.
definitely. They were very tricky and very risky as well. But we had to do what we had to do because our vision was also that to provide a really raw experience, and as well as we wanted to uh, we didn't want to use too much of VFX.
Yeah.
We were a little averse to that.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, your dad is such an experienced director that I'm sure, you know, he knew what he was doing, where you would need a body double and where you wouldn't need one.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
a
At
very
some
good
places you have to
director.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah, some places it's inevitable because the shot is so risky that
Yeah.
ultimately they realize that you might lose your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I would still say 95 to 90% of the things we've done it ourselves.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's amazing. You're truly a fighter because, you know, after the injury that you had, dancing, even if on one leg, but, you know, dancing just so you didn't postpone or delay the shoot of the film, that just shows your commitment, towards the film and towards your work.
That's kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, because I've heard so many stories of actors having injuries, and then the shooting has to be stopped for a period of time, and then it just has an impact on everything, the production, the cast, the crew, like everybody's
Yeah.
dates, and then films get postponed that way. So I think the way you're describing it, like how you fought through it, and
Hmm.
if we just look at the end result, I mean, that's amazing. But though we didn't expect to see you as like in a leading role, I think
Hmm.
that was a big surprise, because seeing Sunny G on the poster, obviously, like he was in Gadar Part One, and like
Yeah.
when I started watching the film, I thought, okay, this was more of your story. Actually, you were like the leading man along with Sunny G, but I think there were a lot of portions where you were there, like you had like individual scenes. So how does that feel now that people have come out of the cinemas and they're saying, well, you're one of the leading actors?
Well, it was always a father-son story. Gadar 2.
Yeah,
Gadar 1 was a romantic film. This is
yeah,
a father-son story. And if I were to give you an example, it's like the story of Arjun and Abhimanyu.
okay,
So both are important characters in their own rights, right? Arjun is definitely the protagonist, but Abhimanyu, in his story, he is equally important. So it is this whole story is kind of a symbol inspired from that, I would say.
yeah,
And it was when the character was pitched to me, the most interesting bit was the emotion
mhm,
Charanjit had for his father. I think every child feels that. And leading and all, I don't think of all that. I think of, does my character have an important part to play? Does
true,
he change the course of the story? Impact? Does he have an impact in the film?
yeah,
You could
no,
have
definitely,
you could be in the entire movie and not leave an impact, while
yeah,
some person might come and just do a comedy scene and steal the show,
yeah.
you could say.
I mean, you definitely left an impact, because I recall it was Independence Day and I had gone to my local cinema in which is actually in Wembley Park in London, very close
Hmm.
to Wembley Stadium. I mean, if you've been to London before, you're probably
Yeah,
familiar
yeah,
with it, because a lot of the concerts happen there. And log matlab सीटियां मार रहे थे, people were clapping even on your entry. And I think the scene which I recall where people were whistling the most and clapping was, when Sunny G comes, like Tara G comes to save you, and then
yeah.
you ask for an आखिरी ख्वाहिश, and then they say कि बेटा अपने बाप को
Beta
देखना
Baap
चाहेगा,
Singh.
बेटा
Yeah, yeah,
बेटा बाप से मिलना चाहेगा. So yeah, that
yeah,
was like, epic. I think when people started
yeah,
clapping.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At the script level, also, we felt that this is going to be quite a highlight moment. So we took our time shooting that as well.
Okay.
And I think the end result is what we expected the audience will feel.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
so
no.
we're happy about it.
Well, I mean, what can I say? We're definitely looking forward to Gadar 3 whenever that comes. I mean, I know there's
Yeah,
no update right now, but
yeah,
I think fans will be really excited to
yeah.
see the whole family coming back on screen together. And a lot of people are saying, like netizens on social media, they're commenting that you didn't introduce your girlfriend to your mom in the film. So a lot of the comments were about that. कि कोई सीन नहीं था लास्ट में कि Sakina meets Muskan, and I think there was like a group hug. मतलब जो group hug था, it was more like a family hug. So maybe a group hug would have been nice with her too. But I think it was more about you, like seeing your mom after such a long time. So that moment in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
film,
yeah. Yeah, but it's a now they are a complete family. That much
definitely.
I can spoil.
No,
Definitely,
no, of course,
there's
yeah, yeah,
no. But let's see. We were planning a
yeah.
couple of things at the end, but it was also due to time.
Time
And
constraint.
yeah, but let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
और कितने टाइम से मतलब गदर 2 का स्क्रिप्ट चल रहा है, मतलब it was being written, I mean, आपको तो
Hmm.
पता ही होगा because obviously it was happening at home, you're part of the family, I mean, like it's your dad's film, so
Yeah.
you know, was it going on for a long time, like the initial that part of the process where you still script writing?
Um, we started when Shaktimanji came with the idea. We knew what the template of the story is going to be, basic
Yeah.
screenplay is going to be. That was locked pretty much on day one
Okay.
itself, which was I think just before lockdown or lockdown. I'm not sure with the date, but from lockdown one to so March 2020 to you can say December 2021, the scripting was going on continuously, and the script evolves as you're shooting it as well.
Yeah.
And but the basic story, the basic screenplay, basic characters, and whatever's going to happen at the end was finalized pretty much on day one itself.
Okay, that's
The
amazing.
research took a while. The research, and we had a lot of help from the army as well,
Mhm.
who could assist us with the details of 71, what was
Yeah.
actually going on. So we had to
Sure.
rework some scenes, some sequences to bring
Yeah.
about that idea clearly. Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for giving us so much of an insight on the film and your experience shooting it and your character. And we definitely look
thank
forward to
you.
seeing much more work from you, aside from Gadar 3, but also any upcoming projects that come along. And just before you go, can you just tell our viewers? I will be posting this later on my page, Big Bollywood Buffs. So just a quick hi, this is Utkarsh Sharma, and you're watching me on Big Bollywood Buffs.
Hi, this is Utkarsh Sharma, and you're watching me on Big Bollywood Buffs.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Utkarsh, and it was lovely talking to you. Here's
Likewise.
wishing you all the success for your future career and upcoming projects. And yeah, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.